meditation. There are so many techniques and approaches and little tricks to meditate. Now there are apps you can use your phone or the internet to meditate. There are different purposes to meditate too. In the Western world, meditation seems to have been reduced to achieving relaxation, feeling good. And that seems limited because that may be one of the consequences, but the way I learn meditation, I learn anapanasati. And anapanasati is mindfulness through meditation, that's what it means. It's about achieving this mindfulness state. And there are many shades about that. Anapanasati mindfulness is meditation that seeks insights and welcome insights. It's open to the external. There's meditation that is closed, is interior, and actively keeps out any externalities that come in. Having made all those distinctions when it comes to meditation approaches, I like to go back to the Buddha's sutta on this subject. The Buddha's discourses or suttas were recorded later by these disciples, and there's one sutta that is about meditation. And the main tenets of that sutta are followed by, in different ways, because there's always argument about what the Buddha said, is followed by monasteries in Myanmar, Thailand, and other places. Basically, the Buddha had an approach that it was 4 components with 4 stages within each one of those. And the 4 components are body, emotions, mind, and Dhamma. Dhamma is hard to translate, but may be translated to Dharma, or is the consideration of the divine, if we want to call it that, are more importantly our duty and fulfilling our duty according to the divine. So the first is about body, and the main approach is anapanasati, is mindfulness through breathing. So the basic exercise is short breath and long breath, and mixing both. What I would like to use here is the word disentanglement. It's almost like each stage, in my perspective, after practicing for a long time, or for a while, I shouldn't say a long time, I came late in life to meditation, formal meditation. I would like to think that each stage is about disentangling. The first stage is about disentangling the body, the second stage is about disentangling emotions, then disentangling the mind, And finally, disentangling our duty, our purpose in life. And how do we disentangle the body? Well, there are many things we can do. Breathing helps us disentangle physically. We can also disentangle from fears about the body, fears of illness and death and injury or past memories of that. From a practical perspective, what I do when I meditate is I start with very short breath. Until I cannot do it anymore. And then I do long breath. And I repeat to myself, there is joy. Right, I had talked for a while now, but just within the first minute of meditating, I repeating this mantra, I acquired, there is joy. There is joy. So I breathe joy in and I breathe joy out. Then there are many things I can do about the body, about disentangling. Also in each stage I can use another technique, which is to gladden the body or the mind or the emotions, gladden, and then calm the body, calm emotions, and then liberate the body, liberate the emotions, liberate mind. Usually you spend a lot of time just in the first stage of body, and then move to emotions, and then there's also, from my perspective, a disentanglement of emotions, and a gladdening of emotions, and a liberating of emotions. And you know when you're doing it right, because at this stage one can experience sukha. And that's a big word in Buddhism. In Buddhism, there's piti, which is the temporary emotion. Piti is the fun we get from having a drink, a cup of coffee, casual sex, roller coasters. It's short-lived, it goes away, and we had to reinforce it. We had to have another drink and more casual sex. And we had to get the pass for the park, for the roller coasters. But there's a level, a stage where or a moment where you experience sukha, and this is a state of joy that is not attached to any particular experience, but is deep, deep joy. And there's no describing it. It's out there. I come to believe that the universe itself hums with joy, and we can tap on that. It's like tuning, making the frequency resonate, that joy of the universe, and then you experience sukha. Dukkha being the opposite, being extreme grief. And then there's the mind that we can, especially with sukha, we can gladden and calm and liberate. The mind being the seat or the base of thinking and emotions, thoughts and emotions. And finally there's Dharma, and this is the most difficult, or it's an evolution. You get here after having this entire body and emotions and mind. What about sukha is that you can get stuck there, and I guess it's okay. Just achieve sukha and enjoy it, almost like if it were coffee. I've been in a cleansing period here in the Amazonia, and it's a month since I had coffee or alcohol, and I've been on my own, rather silent, besides recordings and chanting, or just a casual hello to somebody. So when it comes to Dhamma, this rather it's something that you had to get there, but this basically was your purpose in life, was even duty in life, and are you fulfilling that duty? I like to think of this universe as divine, this earth as a paradise. I really don't know if it's created by another divine being or it's just self-sufficient. Doesn't really matter. Created by a divine being, it will make this a divine universe. And if not, this is still divine, because when we talk about gods and divinity, we attribute God's three basic qualities, and that is gods are omnipresent, which is kind of creepy for a Godfather in heaven to be omnipresent, watching me all the time. Yes, even in the bathroom, even in bed. Whereas nature is so natural to say it's omnipresent. Obviously, it's omnipresent. Here I am in nature, and it's omnipresent. But even if I go into a closet, I'm with my body. Nature, blood, heart, lungs, is omnipresent. Absolutely no doubt. And there's nothing creepy about it. It better be omnipresent. I cannot conceive of being without nature being omnipresent. Then deities are omniscient and omnipotent. They know everything, and they are capable of everything, or anything. And nature is like that. Nature knows everything, because everything happens in this universe according to the so-called laws of the universe. And by the same token, is only potent, because it can create storms, it can create rain like now, it can flood the river in front of me, or it can bring a pandemic and cool humanity. And I mentioned the so-called laws of nature. I like to call them songs of nature, and the sons of nature are the son of gravity, the son of electromagnetism. They are the relationships, the lyrics of how the different components of the universe interact and determine different outcomes. There are sounds of weather that bring this rain right now. Astronomical sounds that bring this moon that is getting fuller day by day. So I see the universe as divine, and the sons or laws of nature as divine, and then our duty in that context, our duty according to the laws of nature is also divine, and fulfilling that duty is divine. That's why I am here. I got a message or a direction to come here, and here I am. Then there has been a process of and comprehending of why am I here, and how it relates to the pandemic in the world right now. So 4 stages, according to the Buddha: body, emotions, mind, and Dhamma, or purpose, or duty. And you can explore a little bit of any of these stages at a given time. You're supposed to start always from the beginning. And then there are many variations of how you approach these. But the main, I would like to create awareness of this Buddha Sutta that lay down the stages of body, emotions, mind, and duty. And if I were going to make a very abbreviated meditation, I will just to start with very short breath, and then long breath, and then experience the joy of the universe. Tell myself there is joy, breathe joy in, breathe joy out, get to that sukha state of joy. It's just tap into what is out there from my perspective, and disentangle body and emotions and mind, and then consider some aspects of the divine and my duty. The rain is stopping and the sky is getting illuminated by the growing moon, which should be full in a few days. The air is cooling down. I stay by the river until I feel the air cooling down like this. I don't like to be indoors until it has cooled down. I don't have an air conditioner, just a fan and windows to fully experience nature, and also to avoid the recirculation of air at this time of a pandemic. Good night. Good life. Much obliged.